Guys, we're back at square one again. No progress is being made. Angela Rayner wants to infringe upon your freedom of thoughts, expression, and speech. Well, this Labour government want to do that, but Angela Rayner is taking the head lead position in doing so because she plans to create an Islamophobia council. She's virtue signaling, as we know, and she's doing it to secure the support of the Muslim community and the votes from the Muslim community, future votes from the Muslim community. And I don't understand. I've said it many times, Islamophobia. I've always spoken about this. When there's a book that talks about persecuting people that don't believe in that book, and I question that book and I don't want that book near me, how is that Islamophobia? The book is talking about persecuting Christians, Jews, and people who don't believe in the book, alongside hadiths. Persecution of everyone. If I don't want to be persecuted, I have a right to not want to be persecuted. So does an atheist, so does a Jew, so does a Hindu, so does a Buddhist. But if you question that and you say something about that, that's Islamophobia. And if you question the religion, that's Islamophobia. So this is just sickening. Now, this is what Tucker Carlson was talking about when he was talking with Piers, where Piers got owned in that interview. He was talking about, the infringement on free speech. You go to jail in the UK if you're an English person and you say something, but then Muslim people who already have a lot of power in the UK are now being strengthened even more so by Angela Rayner creating an Islamophobia council. This is just to crack down on anyone who says anything and questions anything about Islam. No one else has their own council for this but Muslims, and this is crazy. These past couple of years we've seen so much. In fact, I'm going to put something on your screen right now of a guy that graduated from London Met University, I believe late last year. And look at the flag he's holding, a far right, Islamist flag from Pakistan. That just goes to show you everything you need to know. And he's not been charged, of course. He was able to just walk free, but I couldn't even imagine an English person doing this, man. It will be game over. But anyway, guys, we're going to be watching Peter Whittle, founder of New Culture Forum, and he's going to be talking with Martin in relation to all of this madness, this insanity, and yeah, this wokeism again. So yeah.
I'm delighted to say I'm joined in the studio with Peter Whittle, the founder of the New Culture Forum. Peter, always a pleasure to have your company. A lot of people are very concerned about this because it is legitimate to criticise any religion, except this now might make it illegal.
Yes, they're very right to be very concerned. This is an incredibly dangerous thing that is being planned. Just to give you an idea, there is a new definition of Islamophobia which was adopted by Labour and which could well come in with this new council and become law. It's much broader. Islamophobia, Martin, anyway, is a made-up, nonsensical term, anyway. But what this new definition does is it actually makes virtually all criticism of Islam, or indeed Muslims, almost completely impossible. It will bring in a new blasphemy law. What it really means is that in order for multiculturalism to kind of keep working, our very freedoms are actually now going to be undermined. By that, I mean our freedom of speech, which is, absolutely basic in our country. No one should get any kind of special treatment. We've always had the ability in this country, you remember Life of Brian, you remember all of these things, to criticise a belief system. Islam is a belief system. What this is doing is essentially outlawing any criticism of that, and indeed what it calls expressions of Muslimness. So what we're going to see is things like, for example, if you might mention Muslim grooming gangs, that's a problem. If you have a view that you want to express about the wearing of the burqa, that's a problem. In other words, it's everything. This is absolutely insidious. It's a genuine and real attack. And it will include also, it will cover what you want to cover on this channel, for example.
Yeah, now everybody can agree we have existing hate speech laws. Nobody should be persecuted for their faith, their sexuality, their ethnicity, whatever. But we do have laws that already deal with that. Why do we need something specifically to cater for Islam? And for example, the Batley Grammar School teacher is still in hiding for simply showing a cartoon. teaching. That will be illegal, presumably, under this.
Of course it will. The thing is that we have a kind of de facto blasphemy law already in place. You mentioned Batley there. You know, the teacher is still in hiding 4 years later.
Yeah.
Go right back to Salman Rushdie and the fatwa on his book, The Satanic Verses. All the way through now, basically, people have kind of internalized as well this fear, which is what it is, a fear of Islamic reaction. And so as a result, there's very, very little criticism. What this does, it actually widens it and it makes it official. It's a disgusting piece of legislation if it actually does end up being legislation. And basically, I would say everybody simply must ignore it. I certainly will not abide by it.
It certainly has caused a huge uproar. Thousands of people commenting, including Robert Jenrick, saying the government should drop plans. It is deeply flawed. Thank you very much, Peter Whittle, for joining us in the studio today. Always an absolute pleasure to have your company. Peter Whittle, who's the founder, of course, of the New Culture Forum.
Guys, I'm just going to be honest. I am sick and tired of this Labour government masquerading round, acting like they are doing something effective when they are actually not. You know, they ran on a manifesto that, you know, seek to tackle real problems, and now they're doing things like this. They're behind on economy. They are absolutely turning their back on everything that they stated. They lied, you know, essentially. So yeah, but listen, you don't need an Islamophobia council. Like, it's just, I'm sorry. And like he rightly said, I will absolutely be rejecting this. I'm not going to be abiding by this. I'm allowed to say what I feel to say. You know, Christians that debate this in Hyde Park, what does this mean for them? You know, if they say certain things, then they could be arrested, essentially. You know, Hyde Park is where everyone goes and they express themselves. You know, they talk about religious texts. And of course, from what I see, the Christians are always dominant and they always win, in my opinion, in my non-biased opinion. But, you know, this gives them leeway now to say, hang on, that's not right. I'm going to call the police on you. And then what do the police do? They come and they arrest them for, you know, for having a debate. I don't understand what Angela Rayner plans to do. This is very, very silly. She needs to be worrying about, you know, real problems that are affecting, you know, the UK, like I've highlighted so many times on this channel, and stop signaling your virtue to Muslims just to secure votes and just to secure, you know, their approval. You know, this Labour government is well and truly an embarrassment. I'm just being honest, and I've said it many times, you know, every European country, UK need a conservative government. Like, I don't even talk about my voting, but I cannot vote anything other than, you know, centre-right political parties. You know, and that's just me being honest, because, yeah, you know, I don't want to see Labour in again. Just being honest. But anyway, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.